When you hear the number 10,000, it might feel like a dream, especially if you're a student juggling classes, assignments, and maybe even a part-time job. But let me tell you something straight. This isn't just a number for the lucky few. It's a goal within your reach if you're willing to shift your mindset and take bold action. Too often, students believe they need to wait until after graduation, until they land that real job, before they can start making serious money. That's a lie. The world we live in today has changed, and with the right strategies, tools, and hustle, you can create a path to earning 5 figures while you're still in school. This isn't about luck. It's not about waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity. It's about learning how to create one, whether it's using your skills, building digital products, running an online business, or leveraging the power of social media. There are proven ways to make money that don't require a degree, a fancy office, or years of experience. What it does require is clarity, consistency, and the courage to start. Imagine walking across your campus, knowing you've already built something powerful, something that pays you while you sleep, something that makes your peers wonder how you did it. That's not just a fantasy. It's reality for students all over the world who refuse to settle for the traditional route. So today, I'm going to break it down for you. 4 powerful steps, 4 strategies that can help you as a student hit that 10,000 mark. Listen closely, because the difference between wishing for it and actually having it is in what you decide to do today. This is the blueprint. This is the moment you stop doubting and start building. The very first step to making 10,000 as a student is not about chasing every opportunity that comes your way. It's about identifying your strengths and figuring out how to turn them into income streams. Too many students make the mistake of thinking they don't have any valuable skills yet, simply because they haven't graduated or gotten official work experience. But here's the truth: every single person has skills. The problem is most people never stop to recognize them, let alone use them. Think about it for a moment. Are you good at writing? That's a skill that can be monetized through freelance writing, blogging, or even creating digital products. Are you good at designing graphics? 8. Editing videos or making presentations. Businesses and content creators are out there right now looking for someone with those exact skills to help them. Maybe you're good at explaining things to others. You could easily become a tutor, either in person or online, teaching subjects you've already mastered. The point is, your skills are more valuable than you think, and they can be the foundation of your first 10,000. Now, identifying your skills doesn't just mean asking yourself what you're good at. It also means paying attention to what comes naturally to you. 8. What are the things that people often compliment you on? What do your classmates ask for your help with? Maybe you're the one who knows how to make PowerPoint slides look incredible, or the one who understands math problems in a way that others can't. Those little things might not seem like much to you, but in the real world, they're worth money. Once you've identified your skills, the next step is figuring out how to position them in a way that people will pay for. That's where platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and LinkedIn come into play. You don't need a fancy resume or years of experience to start. What you need is a clear offering. For example, I will design a professional logo for your business, or I will edit your video for YouTube. Be specific. People don't pay for vague promises. They pay for clear, valuable solutions to their problems. Another powerful way to monetize your skills as a student is to offer your services to small businesses around you. Local shops, cafes, and even in your university clubs often need help with marketing, social media, or design, but they don't have the budget to hire big agencies. That's where you come in. 8, you can be the affordable, skilled solution they've been looking for. Imagine helping a cafe create an Instagram page, posting content for them, and getting paid a few $100s each month. Multiply that by a few clients, and you're well on your way to hitting that 10,000 mark. Now let's talk about mindset for a second. 48. The reason most students never turn their skills into income isn't because they lack ability, it's because they underestimate themselves. They think 8 would pay me. But let me tell you, people will pay you not because you're perfect, but because you're better at something than they are. The 48, and you're willing to solve their problem? That confidence to step out, to ask for the opportunity, and to charge for your time, that's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Finally, remember this, you don't need to start big. You don't need to have everything figured out. Start small, start with one skill, one client, one gig. Then build from there. The 48. Once you've gotten a taste of making money from your own abilities, you'll never go back to thinking you have to wait for someone else to hand you a paycheck. You'll realize that the key to making 10,000 as a student doesn't lie in working harder for minimum wage. It lies in recognizing the value you already bring to the table and learning how to multiply it. Your skills are your currency. Treat them with respect, invest in sharpening them, and then put them to work. That's how you begin the journey toward the 10,000 goal. 8. Once you've identified your skills, the next critical step is learning how to put them in front of the right people. Making 10,000 as a student isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And in today's world, that means leveraging the power of online platforms. The internet has leveled the playing field. You no longer need a huge network, a fancy office, or even years of experience to start earning. What you need is the ability to use the platforms that are already out there waiting for you. Think about platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, or even LinkedIn. These places are digital marketplaces where people go specifically to find help. That means the audience is already there, searching for skills you might have. The 48. Let's say you're good at writing social media captions. Instead of waiting for someone to notice your talent in your friend group, you could be putting that skill on Fiverr right now, where thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs are actively searching for help. 2. The 48. The key is not whether you have the talent, it's whether you're putting it in a place where it can be discovered. Another powerful example is content platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. These aren't just for entertainment anymore, they are money-making machines if you learn how to use them. Students all around the world are starting niche YouTube channels or TikTok accounts, focusing on simple topics like study tips, motivational content, tech tutorials, 8, or even documenting their daily life as a student. Why? Because audiences crave authenticity. And here's the kicker: once you build an audience, you can monetize through ads, sponsorships, and affiliate marketing. Suddenly, the thing you're already doing, sharing what you know, becomes a source of income. Now, let's talk about e-commerce platforms like Shopify, Etsy, or even Amazon. Dropshipping and print on demand have given students the ability to start businesses without holding inventory or spending thousands upfront. If you're creative and you can design tea, shirts, mugs, or stickers, you can launch a print-on-demand store that fulfills orders automatically while you sleep. Imagine waking up and seeing notifications of sales that happened overnight. That's the power of leveraging online platforms. But here's the part most students miss: consistency and positioning. It's not enough to just sign up on Fiverr or make a TikTok account. You need to position yourself as someone worth hiring, worth watching, worth trusting. That means writing clear gig descriptions, creating professional-looking profiles, posting consistently, and showing your value through samples or content. Too many people give up after 1 week because they don't see results. But the ones who stick it out, who post daily, who optimize their profiles, those are the ones who start seeing real money roll in. Let's not forget about learning platforms like Skillshare, Udemy, or even Gumroad. If you know how to do something, whether it's playing guitar, coding, or even organizing your study habits, you can package that knowledge into an online course or digital guide. Students are creating simple e-books or tutorials and selling them online, generating income long after the work is done. That's the definition of smart leverage. 8. Doing the work once and getting paid over and over again. The truth is, these platforms remove excuses. You can't say, "Oh, I don't know where to find clients," when Fiverr exists. You can't say, "I don't know how to start a business," when Shopify lets you launch a store in an afternoon. The only thing standing between you and 10,000 is whether or not you're willing to consistently use these platforms to showcase your skills, products, or content. So here's the mindset shift. Don't just be a consumer of these platforms, become a creator on them. Stop scrolling through TikTok just to be entertained and start posting content that builds an audience. Stop browsing Amazon just to shop and start selling. Stop using LinkedIn only to connect with classmates and start networking with professionals who can hire you. Leverage is what separates those who struggle from those who succeed. The internet is your amplifier. It takes whatever skill or knowledge you have and magnifies it to reach thousands, even millions. And when you learn to use that leverage consistently, that 10,000 goal won't just be possible, it'll be inevitable. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're chasing a financial goal, like hitting $10,000, is relying on just one source of income. Think about it. If you only depend on a single gig, one client, or one idea, what happens when that dries up? Suddenly you're back at zero. That's why the smartest students who actually hit that 10,000 milestone are the ones who create multiple streams of income. They don't just put all their eggs in one basket. They spread their opportunities so that money can flow in from different directions. The beauty of being a student is that you're already surrounded by flexibility. You might have classes during the day, but you also have evenings, weekends, and breaks. Each of those time slots can be turned into a different income stream if you approach it smartly. For example, maybe you start by freelancing online, writing, designing, tutoring, or doing social media work. That becomes your first income stream. At the same time, you can launch a side hustle like reselling products on eBay or running a small print-on-demand store. That's a second stream, adding creating digital content on TikTok, YouTube, or even Instagram, and suddenly you're building an audience that brings in ad revenue or sponsorships. Now you're at 3 streams without even realizing it. Here's why this is powerful. Each stream might not bring in a ton of money individually, but when they combine, the impact is huge. Maybe your freelancing makes you $500 a month. Your e-commerce side hustle adds another 300. Your YouTube channel starts pulling in 200 from ads. Suddenly, you're at $200,000 a month without having one full-time job. Keep building that up, and in less than a year, you could cross 10,000 easily. And don't underestimate small streams of income. They add up faster than you think. For instance, 8. Affiliate marketing is something most students ignore because they think it's only for influencers with millions of followers. But here's the truth. You don't need a giant audience, you just need the right audience. If you have a few hundred engaged followers on Instagram or TikTok, you can recommend products you genuinely use, like study tools, tech gadgets, or even books, and earn commissions every time someone buys through your link. That's money coming in on top of everything else you're doing, and the work is minimal once you've set it up. The 48. Another example is offering tutoring services in subjects you're already good at. You don't need to be a professor to tutor someone a year below you in math, science, or English. Parents are willing to pay for reliable tutors, and with online platforms like Zoom or specialized tutoring sites, you can do it from your dorm room. That's another stream. The secret here is not just diversification, but balance. You don't want to overwhelm yourself by chasing too many things at once. 8. But you also don't want to rely on just one. Start small, master one stream, and then add another. Think of it like building a pyramid. The base is wide because it has multiple supports, and that's what makes it strong. Your financial foundation should be the same, multiple income streams supporting your overall goal. Here's the mental shift. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an entrepreneur. Employees rely on one paycheck. Entrepreneurs build systems where money comes from different directions. And as a student, you have the unique advantage of experimenting without as much pressure. Hey, 8. You're not paying a mortgage, you're not raising a family. You can afford to try different things, fail fast, and pivot until you find the combination that works for you. And remember, this multiple streams of income don't just make you money, they give you freedom. When one stream slows down, the others keep going. When one client cancels, you don't panic because you have other projects lined up. This stability is what allows you to reach 10,000 and keep going beyond it. So, if you're serious about making 10,000 as a student, don't rely on just one hustle. Build streams that complement each other. Freelancing, content creation, e-commerce, tutoring, affiliate marketing, digital products. Let them all flow into your pocket and watch how quickly the total adds up. That's not just income, that's a safety net, a growth engine, and the start of real financial independence. Here's the truth most people don't like to hear. Making 10,000 as a student is not just about finding the right hustle or having multiple streams of income. It's about discipline and consistency. The 48, you can know all the strategies in the world, but if you don't stick to them, if you're not consistent day after day, you'll never hit that number. The difference between students who dream about making money and students who actually do, it comes down to whether they have the discipline to keep pushing when it gets boring, tiring, or uncomfortable. Let's talk about consistency first. Think about the gym. If you go once a month, nothing changes. But if you show up 3 times a week for 6 months, your body transforms. The same thing applies to building income. If you work on your hustle once in a while, you won't see results. But if you put in focused effort every single day, even if it's just 1 or 2 hours, you build momentum. That momentum compounds, and that's what turns small wins into big paydays. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Now, discipline is what keeps you consistent. As a student, you're constantly surrounded by distractions, friends hanging out, Netflix, social media scrolling, parties. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your life. But if you want to make 10,000, you have to learn how to prioritize. Discipline is saying, I'll finish this freelance project before I watch that show. Discipline is choosing to spend an hour learning a new skill instead of wasting it on something that doesn't move you closer to your goal. Discipline isn't easy, but it's the bridge between your goals and your reality. But let me tell you something even more important. Making what 10,000 is one thing. Keeping it and using it wisely is another. Too many students hit a financial milestone and then they blow it all on clothes, gadgets, the 48, or random stuff that doesn't really matter. If you want to build lasting success, you've got to practice smart money management. That means creating a simple system for your earnings. For example, every time you make money, break it down into 3 categories: reinvest, save, and spend. Reinvesting means putting money back into your hustle. If you're running an online business, use some of your earnings to upgrade your tools, run ads, or hire help so you can scale faster. Saving means setting aside money for the future, maybe for an emergency fund, future opportunities, or to give yourself breathing room when school gets tough. And spending is what you allow yourself to enjoy guilt-free. But the key is to spend only after you've reinvested and saved. That way, every dollar you earn is working for you in some way. Here's another key part of money management: tracking your progress. If you don't know where your money is going, you'll never know why it disappears so fast. Keep a simple record of your income and expenses, whether it's in a notebook, an app, or a spreadsheet. Watching your money grow gives you motivation and seeing where you waste money gives you awareness. Both are essential for hitting 10 zoes and dos and beyond. Also, don't underestimate the power of small habits. Setting aside even $5 a day from your hustle into savings might not seem like much, but over time, it builds up. This habit of managing your money while you're young sets you up for long-term success, because here's the reality. If you can't manage 500 wisely, you won't manage 10,000 wisely either. Success doesn't just come from making more money. It comes from becoming the kind of person who knows how to handle it. So, the last piece of the puzzle is this discipline. Consistency and money management are what separate the wannabes from the achievers. Anyone can start a side hustle, but not everyone will show up every day, sacrifice distractions, and treat their money like a tool instead of a toy. If you master these three qualities, you won't just make $10,000 and as a student, you'll build a foundation that will serve you for the rest of your life. That's the ultimate lesson. It's not about chasing quick money, it's about building discipline and habits that create wealth over and over again. Because once you do that, poor 10 won't just be a milestone, it'll be the starting point.